A wasp lands on the patio table. Most people make exactly the wrong move. They wave their arms, they blow at it, or they try to swat it. But that's often the very thing that turns a curious wasp into an aggressive one. You know what? There's a method that costs almost nothing and works surprisingly well, yet hardly anyone knows about it. Stay with me, because once you understand why wasps behave the way they do, you'll be able to get rid of them without panic and without using chemicals. Over the next few minutes, I'll show you more than just how to keep individual wasps peacefully away from your outdoor dining table. You'll also learn why wasps suddenly seem to appear out of nowhere every year in August, why blowing on a wasp is one of the worst things you can do, and how to recognize the signs that there's already a nest somewhere around your home. Because the more you learn about wasps, the clearer one thing becomes. The real problem isn't the insects themselves, it's the way we react to them. And that's where this fascinating story begins. Back at the patio table, a slice of cake, a glass of lemonade, maybe something fresh off the grill. Then suddenly, you hear that familiar buzzing sound. A wasp is coming in. Within seconds, everyone becomes uneasy. Someone starts swatting at it. Children jump up. The food is hurriedly covered. But from the wasp's point of view, something completely different is happening. It doesn't think it has landed at a coffee table. Instead, it believes it has arrived at a battlefield, where it has to fight for the food it just found. And that's exactly why it reacts. Not out of malice, not because it's looking for a fight, but because it feels threatened. For a long time, I also believed that blowing hard at a wasp would simply chase it away. In reality, the opposite happens. The air we exhale contains significantly more carbon dioxide than the surrounding air, and that increase in carbon dioxide can act as a warning signal for wasps. In nature, higher carbon dioxide levels often occur when a mammal gets very close to the nest. To the wasp, that means only one thing: danger. That's why many wasps become much more alert after being blown on. Some even appear noticeably more agitated. The same is true for frantic arm movements. What looks like harmless shooing to us looks like an attack to the wasp. And like almost every other animal, a wasp responds to what it believes is an attack by defending itself. But now the picture changes completely. Have you ever noticed that wasps are barely visible in the spring and then suddenly seem to be everywhere in August? That's no coincidence. In just a moment, you'll understand why your slice of cake suddenly becomes more attractive than any flower in the garden during late summer. Because once you understand what happens inside a wasp colony throughout the year, their behavior suddenly makes perfect sense. Everything begins in the spring. While we're enjoying the first warm sunshine of the year, somewhere, a single fertilized queen wasp wakes up from hibernation. She's completely alone. She searches for a sheltered place, a shutterbox, an attic, a hollow space inside a wall, or a garden shed. There, she builds the colony's very first nest, about the size of a walnut. At first, there are no worker wasps, no helpers, no defenders. The queen does everything herself. She builds, she lays eggs, she feeds the first larvae. Only weeks later do the first worker wasps emerge. And from that moment on, the entire colony begins to change. The worker wasps take over building the nest and searching for food. The queen now remains almost exclusively inside the nest, where she focuses on laying more eggs. Now the colony begins to grow, from just a few wasps to hundreds, later to thousands. Of the two species you're most likely to encounter in the United States, the yellow jacket and the paper wasp. Strong colonies can grow to several thousand individuals by late summer, but now come the facts that very few people know. As long as there are many larvae living in the nest, the worker wasps spend most of their time hunting other insects: flies, mosquitoes, caterpillars, aphids. Why? Because the larvae need protein to grow. Over the course of a single summer, one wasp colony removes enormous numbers of other insects from its surroundings. In other words, while we often think of wasps as pests, they're also working as free pest control. Unfortunately, while hunting for protein, they're also happy to help themselves to your barbecue. But around August, things begin to change. Fewer and fewer larvae need to be fed. As a result, the colony's demand for protein drops. The adult wasps now need one thing above all else: quick energy. And that's exactly why they begin searching for sugar. Suddenly, jam, ice cream, fruit, cake, and lemonade become far more attractive than flies or caterpillars. What looks like a sudden wasp invasion to us is actually nothing more than a natural change in their diet. By the way, this is one of the biggest misconceptions of all. Many people believe wasps become more aggressive in late summer. In reality, they simply become much more persistent in their search for food. And that's a big difference. An animal that stubbornly searches for food doesn't automatically attack. It's simply following its instincts. Now let's come to the methods that really make a difference compared to reaching for chemical sprays. Not expensive, just surprisingly simple. You probably already have everything you need at home. The first method isn't a trick. It simply takes advantage of the wasp's natural instincts. But before I show it to you, you should know about one mistake that makes this method almost completely ineffective. Many people use a strong stream of water. Some even spray it directly at a wasp nest. You should never do that. A powerful stream of water feels like an attack to the insects, and spraying a nest can immediately put the entire colony on high alert. The result is often the exact opposite of what you're trying to achieve. That's why there's one simple rule: never spray a wasp nest. Even when you're dealing with a single wasp, the goal isn't to hit it, the goal is to create a fine mist. That's what makes all the difference. Think about a warm summer day. Dark clouds suddenly roll in. The first raindrops begin to fall. What do flying insects do? They look for shelter. That's exactly the behavior this method takes advantage of. A fine mist reminds the wasp of incoming rain. To the wasp, it makes sense to look for shelter. That's why it will often simply fly away. Not because you've driven it away, but because it believes the weather has changed. And that's exactly why this method works so much better than waving your arms. It works with the insect's natural behavior instead of against it. All you need is an ordinary spray bottle. The important thing is that it produces a very fine mist. No strong stream of water, no narrow jet, and use nothing but clean water. No cleaning products, no soap, no essential oils. If a single wasp approaches your food, hold the spray bottle about half a meter away. Give one, or two. Gentle sprays in its direction, not at the nest, not aggressively, and not until the wasp is soaking wet. A fine mist is completely sufficient. In many cases, the wasp will turn away after just a few seconds and look for a sheltered place. If it comes back later, you can simply repeat the process. This method has proven effective time and time again on patios, balconies, and during barbecues. But now it gets even more interesting. The second method isn't aimed at the wasps at all. Instead, it works with the way they search for food. Imagine you're looking for a restaurant. You have two choices. The first one is right next to a busy road, surrounded by people. The second one is quiet, easy to reach, and serves exactly the same food. Which one would you choose? Probably the easier option. And wasps often behave in much the same way. That's why so-called distraction plates have proven to be effective. The idea is remarkably simple. Place a small dish containing especially attractive food, a few meters away from where you're sitting. For example, very ripe fruit, a little jam, or if you're having a barbecue, a small piece of meat. The distance is important. Not right next to your own plate, but preferably about 5 to 10 meters away. That creates an alternative food source that's easier for the wasps to reach than your dining table. Of course, it doesn't work 100% of the time, but in many situations, it noticeably reduces the number of wasps nearby. And now listen closely. Stay calm. That may sound trivial, but it's probably the most important advice of all, because the calmer you remain, the calmer the wasp usually remains as well. But to give you the complete picture, we also need to talk about the limits of these methods, because not every wasp problem can be solved with a spray bottle. The fine mist method works extremely well when individual wasps are visiting your patio table or balcony, but it is not a substitute for professional help. If there's already a nest on or inside your home, a licensed pest control professional can determine whether the nest can safely remain or whether it should be professionally relocated. And now, we've come full circle. Most people believe wasps are naturally aggressive pests, but if you take a closer look, you discover something completely different. A wasp doesn't hunt people. It defends itself. It searches for food. It follows instincts that have evolved over millions of years. And that's exactly why. Most conflicts don't begin with the wasp. They begin with our reaction. We wave our arms. We blow at it. We panic. And then we wonder why the insect becomes nervous. Yet sometimes, just a little knowledge is enough to experience the exact same situation very differently. A simple spray bottle filled with water, a distraction plate placed a safe distance away, covered food, and above all, staying calm. Because the better we understand nature, the easier it becomes to live alongside it.